안녕하세요. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Hi, everyone. Please come in. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you. It's finally 9 p.m. in Korea, and now we're able to start the stream. So thank you so much, everyone. Could you guys please type something if you can hear me in the chat section? I see a lot of familiar names. 민주 오랜만이에요. Hello, everyone. What's your team in startup, 지평 or 도산? Oh, I personally like 지평. Like, I like his story. I find it very inspiring. But I wanted 도산 to end up with 달미. So I guess I really like the startup ending. But yes. So that's my team. And hi, guys. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's 5:30 a.m. in India. Isn't it p.m.? It cannot be a.m. Right? So, hello guys. Thank you so much for coming. So, I guess we can, without further delay, I think we can start now. So, today we are going to learn Korean sentence ending, and this is the very first Korean sentence ending lesson on my channel. And if you're not familiar with what a sentence ending is in Korean language, you can check out the video that I linked in the description box. It starts from around like 7 minutes into the video, so you can check that video out. And to briefly explain what a sentence ending is, as you can see by its name, it's what is placed at the end of the sentence. Hence, the sentence ending that gets combined with the verb, because verb, we learned, are the very last element in a sentence, right? So inevitably, it gets combined with the verb. And I think sentence endings are one of the most fun parts to learn in Korean grammar, because a lot of learners find it quite new and unique, and you can make a sentence a lot simpler with the sentence endings. And it's a very important part too, because it's common for the sentence endings to decide the intention or even the tone of your sentence. So for today's class, I brought these two endings. It's 네 or 네요 in 존댓말, or 대 or 대요 in 존댓말. And guys, just in case, guys, this is not to be confused with 대요, with this 에, because this is a different ending. So 대요 with this 에 and 대요 with this 에 is different. And this is one of the common mistakes that even the native speakers make. We write 대요, this 대요, in the place of 대요, but that is actually wrong because these two have different meaning. And what we're learning today is not this one, but this one with this 에. So 네요 or 네, 대요, and 대 ending is what we're gonna learn today. So now let's look at the sentences that I brought that each has 네요 and 대요 in it. Okay, so let me put this aside. So before we dive deeper into it, let me just briefly tell you guys what each sentence means. So, okay, sorry about this. Let me place it here. Sorry, just give me a few seconds, guys. Trying to arrange something on my desk. Okay, there you go. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Let's place it here. Okay. So let's start with this sentence. 한국어가 어렵네요. So this sentence is a combination of 한국어가 어렵다. 어렵다 means to be difficult, right? So Korean is difficult combined with 네요 ending. So it becomes 한국어가 어렵네요. And it means Korean is really hard. And by putting 네요 sentence ending, it means that's what I feel. So this whole sentence means I feel that Korean is difficult. 한국어가 어렵네요. And as opposed to this one, 한국어가 어렵대요. So the main statement here is the same, right? Korean is difficult. 한국어가 어렵다. But this time the ending is different. 대요. And this ending makes the whole sentence mean this. I hear from someone else that Korean is difficult. So that's like the general meaning of these two. And moving on to the next sentences. 지수가 자네요. So here, this is the combination of 지수가 자다, means 지수 is sleeping, right? 지수가 자다 combined with 네요, and it means I can see that 지수 is sleeping. So 지수가 자다, 지수 is sleeping combined with 네요 becomes the meaning of I can see that 지수 is sleeping. Whereas this one, 지수가 잔대요, which is a combination of 자다 verb and 태요, and we'll learn about the grammar, why there is extra nium 받침 here. We'll learn about the grammar soon. But this is a combination of 자다 verb and 태요 ending, and this means I hear that 지수 is sleeping. So based on what we just learned, guys, you can guess that 네요 is used when the sentence that you're reporting, so this is the sentence that you're reporting, right? And it's combined with the ending. So what 네요 does is that it adds the meaning of I feel or I observe. So it's stating what you feel or observe based on your own experience, whereas 태요 is used when you're reporting what you heard from someone else, from the third person. So that is the gist of these two endings. 네요 is used when reporting what you observe or feel, when the statement that you're reporting is what you observe and feel based on your own experience. And 태요 is when reporting what you heard from someone else. So this is not what you feel, this is what you heard from the third source, right? So that's the difference. And one thing that you guys also should know is that the subject, so in 네요 and 태요, it is implied that the subject is I, the speaker. So by using 네요, it means I feel or I observe, and by using 태요, it means I hear. That's what I hear, right? So the subject in the reported sentence, guys, the reported sentence might not be I, but the one that is delivering the sentence is I, right? So you can just say, you don't have to put like 저는 or 제가 when you're using these endings, because it is already implied that the subject is I. So yes. So you can just say the sentence that you want to report, and combine it with 네요, and it means this sentence, and that's what I feel. That's what I feel. So yes, now let's look at the grammar form, guys. So I wrote the rule differently for each one, right? So let's look at 네요's grammar rule first before we move on to 태요, because 네요 it's a lot simpler because it doesn't differentiate between a verb and an adjective. Whether it's a verb or an adjective, you just combine it with the stem and then put 네요. So let's look at the sentences that I brought. So I want to know if you guys are following. Sorry, I haven't been checking the live chat section. Oh. Okay, guys. Okay. So I hope that you guys are following. This is not like a very difficult concept. But hi guys. Hello. So I'll move on to the example sentences. Okay. So far so good. Okay, good to know that you're following. So I think that some people are following, some quite not, but I'll have like a question and answer session at the end of the class. So yes, let's just continue with the sentences that I brought. So 비가 오네요. 비가 오네요. 비가 오네요. It means I see, right, that it's raining. 비가 오다 means to rain, right? So it means I see that it's raining. 비가 오네요. And if you say 비싸네요, it's a combination of 비싸다, which means to be expensive, and 네요, so it means I can see, I can feel that it's expensive. Like if you're trying to buy something and then the clerk tells you the price of it and you go, oh, 비싸네요, 비싸네요. 그냥 안 살래요. I'm just not gonna buy it. 비싸네요. And also you can say 한국어를 잘하시네요. 한국어를 잘하시네요. So 잘하시다, it's used with 치다 verb, right? The honorific verb, which means to be good at something. So 한국어를 잘하시네요 means like I can see that you are good at Korean. 한국어를 잘하시네요. 한국어를 잘하시네요. 여러분 한국어를 잘하시네요. I can see that some of you guys speak Korean very well. And how about 지수는 키가 크네요. 지수는 키가 크네요. 지수, 키가 크다 means to be tall, right? 키가 크다 means to be tall. So I can see that 지수 is tall, right? So 키가 크다, we learned that it literally means your height is big, and it's used when you want to say someone is tall. So 지수는 키가 크네요. That's what I observe. And 공재성, that's a good question. Does 네요 can be used to mean you're surprised? 맛있네요. 맞아요. So that's what we are getting at actually. So it can also be used to express your surprise. Like 경치가 정말 예쁘네요, right? So 경치 means view. 정말 예쁘다, to be pretty, right? So I can see that the view is really pretty. 경치가 정말 예쁘네요. So yes, it can be used when you're surprised by your observation or by your feeling, right? So that's why it is often used in compliments. You'll find a lot of 네요 ending in compliment sentences. So if you want to tell someone that he or she is smart, you can say, 지수 씨는 정말 똑똑하네요. 똑똑하다 means to be smart, right? So combine it with the stem and 네요 ending, becomes 똑똑하네요. 지수 씨는 정말 똑똑하네요. Like I can see that you're really smart. And 네요는 감탄 표현을 나타내요. Okay, so yes, it does. It expresses your surprise, but not always. Not always a surprise. It's just, it can also be used to merely report what you observe, what you see, even if you're not necessarily surprised. But it can also be used as an expression of surprise, so that's why it can also be used in many compliment sentences. And you can also say, 지수는 매일 책을 읽어서 보기 좋네요. 지수는 매일 every day 책을 읽다 means to read a book. So she reads a book every day. So 보기 좋네요. 보기 좋네요. So this is a new colloquial expression, guys, that you can take away. 보기 좋다. So if you say something is 보기 좋다, it means like something is good to look at. To break this sentence down, I guess we need a separate paper. So it's a combination of 보다, which means to look or see, right? And then combine it with the suffix that makes it into a noun, right? So 보기 means like looking. 보기 좋다. It means like to be good for looking. And it's usually used when you want to compliment another person's, okay, so first of all, when you want to say something looks good, like the view looks good, you can say 경치가, we learned 경치, right? 경치가 보기 좋네요. 보기 좋네요. Wow, it looks really good. And you can also use it when you're complimenting the other person's attitude. So what I can say is what I can say to 여러분, you guys, is that 여러분 한국어 공부 정말 열심히 하시네요. So let me type it to you guys. 한국어 공부 정말 열심히 하시네요. I can see that you guys work really hard on Korean. 보기 좋아요. 보기 좋아요. It's like, look, it's a good attitude. 보기 좋아요. And I can also say 보기 좋네요 because it's something that I observe, right? So 네요 can be used like that. So not necessarily when you're like surprised, but it can be used with any sentence that you want to report based on your own feeling and observation. Hello Jenny from Philippines. I have a lot of viewers from Philippines actually. Yes. So nice to meet you. Neyo can also be used not just in like positive context, but also in negative context because, you can observe like bad things as well, right? So if you find your like next door neighbors not too kind, that's what you observe, right? That's what you feel. So you can use neyo in that case too. So let's break the sentence down. 옆집 아저씨 or 옆집 아주머니가. So 옆집. 여러분 옆집 알아요? Do you guys know 옆집? It means next door. It literally means the house next to mine. So it means next door. And when you say 옆집 아저씨, it's like a middle-aged man. Or like 아저씨. You guys know what 아저씨 is, right? It's a word used for middle-aged man. It's a friendly word actually. So 옆집 아저씨 means like next door 아저씨. And 아주머니 is like a term that you call a middle-aged woman. So it's also a friendly term. So next door 아저씨 or next door 아주머니가 불친절하다. So 여러분 친절하다 알아요? Do you guys know 친절하다? We learned this in one of our lessons. It means to be kind. And when you say 불친절하다, it means someone is not kind. So 불 is a Sino-Korean word that comes from this Chinese character, which means not. And you'll see this letter used a lot when you are like saying the opposite, when you're saying the word with opposite meaning. 불친절하다. So 불친절하다 is the opposite of kind, so it means like unkind, not kind. So it means I can feel that 옆집 아저씨 or 옆집 아주머니 is not kind. 옆집 아저씨가 불친절하네요. And how about 날씨가 좋지 않네요. So the weather isn't always good, right? So on days when you feel like the weather is terrible, you can say this. Like 날씨가 좋지 않네요. I can see that the 날씨, weather, is 좋지 않다. It's a negation of 좋다, right? Not good. So I can see that, or I feel that the weather isn't good. 맞아요. So that's pretty much it for 네요. That's pretty much it. Like 불편해, yes. John Army, yes. 불편해 is also one of the example of 불 being used to negate an adjective. So 불편하다 and 편하다, they are the antonyms. 불편하다, uncomfortable. 편하다, comfortable. I just wrote it in the chat, guys. You can check it out. And so yes, that's pretty much it for 네요. It's not like super difficult to understand 네요, but for 대요, it gets a little complicated because the rule differs when it's when it's a verb and when it's an adjective, the rule differs. So as for 대요, let's use the orange pencil, how do you call this? Color pen, right? Color crayon. So when you're combining it with 대요, when it's a verb, when you're combining it with a verb, what you have to do is you take the stem of the verb and then you put extra 니은 or 는 suffix and then put 대요. But when you're combining an adjective, you can just simply take out the stem and then combine it with 대요 without extra suffix. So let's look at the examples, guys. So let's start with the easy ones, adjective. So what you can do with adjective is that you can simply take out the stem, right? And then combine it with 대요. So you can take out the stem, 예쁘, right? 예쁘. And then combine it with 대요. 예쁘대 in 반말 or 예쁘대요 in 존댓말. 예쁘대요. So if you want to say if you say 제주도가 예뻐요, it means Jeju Island. Jeju Island is a small island in the southern part of Korea. It's like down south. It's a really pretty island. So if you want to say, I hear from someone else that Jeju Island is pretty, you can say 제주도가 예뻐요, which means it's just a plain sentence, right? That means Jeju Island is pretty. But if you want to add I hear, you can combine the stem 예쁘 and then put 대유 ending. 제주도가 예쁘대요. I hear that Jeju Island is pretty, right? And also 비싸다. This means to be expensive. So 싸다 means cheap and 비싸다 means expensive, not cheap, so it's expensive. And this is also the letter that comes from Sino-Korean word that means not. So in some adjectives, 불 that we learned, 불 is used to negate it. And in some adjectives, 비 is used to negate it. So this time, in this word, 비 is used. So 비싸다 means to be expensive. And when you say, I hear something's expensive, you guys are already giving me the answer. Thank you very much for that. 비싸대요. Oh no, you guys are cheating. You guys already went to this sentence. We're just about to do this. No, you guys are not cheating. I'm just kidding. But yes, you guys are right. So if you want to say, in Korea, 망고가 비싸요, means like in Korea, mango is expensive. But if you want to say, I hear in Korea, mango is expensive, you can just take the stem of the adjective and then combine it with 대요. So it becomes 한국에서 망고가 비싸대요. I hear mango. Sorry, I keep saying mango because of the way it's pronounced in Korean. It's mango in English, right? Mango is expensive in Korea. So that's how you can say it. And 쉽다 as well. If you want to say something is easy, I hear something is easy, you can say 쉽대요. Just take out the stem and then put you. Put 대요. 쉽대요. So when you say 영어가 쉬워요, we learned that 쉽다's conjugation rule, right? When an adjective ends in 비읍 받침, it follows its own rule, right? So when it's conjugated in present tense, 비읍 gets deleted and you put extra 워, right? So that's how 쉽다's present tense is 쉬워요. So 영어가 쉬워요 means English is easy. But if you want to add, I hear from someone else that English is easy. That's not what I think. That's what I heard. You can say 영어가 쉽대요, right? 쉽대요. 영어가 쉽대요. You just take out the stem and then put 대요, right? 영어가 쉽대요. I hear English is easy. Then how about 재미있다. 재미있다 as well. You just take out the stem. 재미있다, 재미있, and then put 대요. It means I hear it's fun. So 드라마, 스타트업. You can check the chat session, guys, to check what I'm typing. 드라마 스타트업이 재미있대요. It means the drama called Startup, I hear it's fun, right? So same with this one. 그 영화? No, it isn't. Oh, okay, I agree. Partially, I agree because I didn't really... I'm not a complete fan of the ending of the drama, but still, it was a nice setting. Yeah, at least at first it was. Anyways, so 그 영화가 재미있어요 means that movie is fun, right? But if you say 재미있대요, it means I hear that movie is fun, right? 스타트업이 재미있었더라고요. 맞아요. 공대성 씨 더라고요 엔딩 아시네요. You know 더라고요 ending. Right, that's impressive. Please keep up the good work. We'll also cover that sentence ending in one of my next videos. So that's how you can combine adjective with 대요. And now moving on to combining verb with 태요. Verb with 태요. So it also gets classified into two groups. So first one being when the verb's stem ends in vowel, not 받침. So when the verb stem doesn't end in 받침, like these guys stem don't end in 받침, right? So when it comes to these kinds of verbs, what you can do when you're combining it with 태요 is that you put that extra 니은 받침, right? 니은 받침. So what you can do, can you guys try 자다, combining 자다 with 태요? Can you guys try that? Let me know in the chat section, guys, to see if you guys are following. Oh, 맞아요. 네, 민주씨. Oh, I was so happy to see the correct answer. 맞아요. 네, 잔대요, right? 자, stem, combined with 니은 받침. You have to fill it in with something, right? So fill it in with 니은, and then 대요. 잔대요. I hear someone sleeping, right? 잔대요. 오다 as well. You take out the stem, you fill it in with 니은 받침, and then put 대요. 온대요. I hear someone's coming. I heard 뭐 지수가 온대요. I heard like 지수 is coming. And 마시다. 마신대요. Yes, you guys are doing well. Yes, you guys are doing great. So 마신대요, right? I hear somebody is drinking, right? 마신대요. 지수가 커피를 매일 마신대요. So let me type it, guys. Or sorry, let me just use a separate piece of paper. If you say like 지수가 커피를 마신대요, it would mean like 지수, I hear 지수 drinks coffee, right? 지수가 매일 커피를 마신대요 would mean I hear 지수 drinks coffee 매일, every day. So you can use it like this. And 공부하다, now you got the hang of it, right? Yes, you guys are getting the hang of it. That is correct. It's 공부하, 니은 받침, 대요. 공부한대요. So, MS Duffy. Are you Duffy? Miss Duffy, you're Duffy, right? Duffy. So that's a good question. So I will get into that soon. When to use, so the difference, I guess not in depth, but I will get into that, your question. Thanks for asking, Duffy. Good to see you here, by the way. And so you can use it in sentence like this. The words, the vocabularies that we just learned. 잠대요, 자다 combined with 대요. 온대요, 오다 combined with 대요. 마신대요, 마시다 combined with 대요. 공부한대요, 공부다 combined with 대요, right? So, 지수는 매일 10시에 잔대요. You guys can figure out what it means, right? I hear that 지수 sleeps at 10시. Do you guys remember what 10시 is? What time 10시 is? 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock. So most likely 10 p.m. because it's sleeping time. So 지수는 매일 every day 10시에 at 10 p.m. 잔대요. Sleep, and that's what I hear. 고양님, I hear that 지수 sleeps at 10 every day. No, not at 10 hour, at 10 p.m. Because it's 시, not 시간. So I find that a lot of learners get confused with 시 and 시간, which is understandable because they look very similar, right? But how you can differentiate them is, let me give you a small tip, guys. So, 시 means o'clock, and 시간, its first meaning is time. It literally means time, but if you say it with the number, it means 10 hours. So 10시 is 10 o'clock and your 시간 is 10 hours. And this 간, guys, this 간 is a Sino-Korean word that comes from the Chinese character that means between. So 시간 literally mean between time, between like certain o'clocks. So it means hours because it's the length that's happening between the time, right? So it's the length of time, hours, and 시 is just the simple o'clock, that at that specific time. So So that's how you can differentiate it. And 내일 비가 온대요. 내일 비가 온대요. Tomorrow, 비가 오다 we just learned it means to rain, right? I hear it rains tomorrow. I hear it will rain tomorrow. 고양이들은 깨끗한 물만 마신대요. 고양이 cat. 고양이들 cats, right? 고양이들은 깨끗한, so 깨끗하다 means to be clean. So 깨끗한 물 would mean clean water, right? 고양이들은 cats, clean water, 만 is a particle that means only. So only clean water, 마시다, drink, that's what I hear. I hear that cats drink only clean water. And 민주님, 선생님이 중국어를 잘 쓰네요. Wow, you did a great job putting into use what we just learned. 네네, 잘했어요. 그 다음에 next one. 한국 학생들은 열심히 공부한대요. So if you see 대요 ending, you can notice that, so this is reporting what that person heard from the third source, right? So it means 한국, Korea 학생들. 학생 student, 학생들 student. So Korean students, and subject marking particle. 열심히, hard, 공부하다, study. That's what I hear. So I hear that Korean students study hard. 한국 학생들은 열심히 공부한대요. 네네. So that's what it means, guys. And so that was the verbs without the vowel, right? The stem that ends in vowel, not 받침. But when it comes to verbs whose stem ends in final consonant, the 받침, the suffix that you should put is not 니은 받침 because it already has 받침, right? So you don't need any more 받침 to fill it in. So you can just put extra 는 instead in that case. So 읽다, when combined with 대요 ending, it becomes 는, you put extra 니은 before 대요, 읽는 대요. It's not 읽대요. So when 대요 is combined with a verb, you don't put the stem and then 대요 right after it. You have to put the suffix in between. 사이에 suffix를 넣어줘야 돼요. You have to put the suffix, which is either 니은 or 는. If the stem ends in 받침, you put 는. And if the stem I'm getting confused myself while explaining. Blah, blah, blah. So when the stem ends in vowel, you need extra 니은 받침 to fill it in. And when the stem already ends in consonant, you can put 는. 그래서 읽는데요. And you guys are already following. Yes, this one is 먹는데요, right? 먹는데요. And this one is 할는데요. 잘했어요, 여러분. 네, 그리고 Muhammad, thank you. Thank you so much for the loving words, Muhammad. Thank you very much. It's very encouraging. So here, guys, 읽는데요 is pronounced 읽는데요 because of the consonant assimilation. 먹는데요 is pronounced 먹는. 할는데요 is pronounced 할는. So just like we learned in consonant assimilation, you don't have to enunciate every word. You can just follow your natural flow of the pronunciation, and that's what consonant assimilation is all about. And I have made a video on consonant assimilation like a year ago, but I am working on making another one. I've already scripted some parts of the lesson, so hopefully I could meet you guys there soon. It will definitely help you a lot in pronouncing the words in an easier way, and also help you better your listening, of course, because if you understand the exact pronunciation of a certain word, you will likely hear that word when the other person uses it, right? So that would be very helpful, the consonant assimilation. And so based on the verbs combined with 태요 that we just learned, let's make a sentence. Or the sentences are already made, so we can translate. We can try translating each sentence. So 선생님은, the teacher, 매일, every day, 책, book, right? book, 책을 읽는데요. So it means I hear, 선생님은 매일 책을 읽다. Teacher every day reads a book. That's what I hear, right? So sometimes when I'm doing the lesson, guys, I go backward, right? I follow the sentence order of English to make it easier to you guys. But when you're practicing, it's much better for you to process it in order of the Korean sentence, not backwards, so that it's more comfortable for you at first, right? Because that would help you a lot in getting used to the sentence order of Korean language, not your own language, right? So you can process the sentence by looking at the first words, second words, next word. Oh, okay. It means I hear that the teacher reads books every day. Then how about 고양이는 과일을 안 먹는데요. 고양이는 과일을 안 먹는데요. So here, can you guys try translating this sentence? Can any one of you? I heard that cats don't eat fruits. 맞아요, 네네, 맞아요. So cats, 고양이는 과일, fruit, 안, negation of the verb, right? 먹다, eat, 는데요. So cats, fruits, not eat. That's what I hear. Cats don't eat fruits. That's what I hear. 그 다음에 next one. 고양이는 좋아하는 사람을 핥는데요. 고양이는 좋아하는 사람을 핥는데요. I hear cats lick people they like. 네, 잘했어요. 네. 고양이는 cat 좋아하는 사람. This is an object, right? So we learned that 는 verbs then combined with 는 makes the verb into a modifier, right? So it modifies the noun that comes right next to it. So 사람 means person. So 좋아하는 사람 would mean the person that it likes, right? Because 좋아하다 means to like. So 고양이는 the person that he likes. 핥는데요. Lick, that's what I hear. I hear that cats lick people that they like. 그다음에, okay. So that's the basic, guys. That's the basic of 네요 and 해요. But there's actually more grammar to it, guys. So let's continue to look at it. Okay, so irregular verbs, guys. So 태요 ending is no exception. There is an irregular verb. Oh, actually with 네요 ending too. I forgot to mention it, guys. But first, let's start with 태요 ending's irregular verb. So when irregular verbs like 살다, 울다, 만들다, 놀다, whose stem, as you can see, whose stem ends in 리을 받침, they are considered irregular verbs. So they don't follow the regular rule. So if you follow the regular rule that we just learned, 살다, when it's combined with 태요, should be 살는 태요, right? Because if the stem ends in 받침, we have to put extra 는. And 울다 as well, it should be 울는데요. 만들다 as well, it should be 만들는데요. 놀다 should be 놀는데요. But that is not the case with irregular verbs, right? They're not the easy ones. They demand their own rules, right? So what happens with them is that you don't have to put extra 는. You don't have to put them. And then you can change 리을 받침. Okay, let me bring my red pen so that it's more visible to you guys. Use this one, I guess. You can replace 리을 with 니은 받침. So instead of 살는, it becomes 산, and then 태요. Then can you try this one as well? What's 울다 when it's combined with 태요? What's 울다 when it's combined with 태요? It is the most annoying part of verbs. Yes, mega, I agree. Yes, but 어쩔 수 없어요. 어쩔 수 없어요, which means we have no choice, right? We have to get used to it. We have to learn that. So, 운대요. 맞아요. 민주 씨 잘했어요. And the rest of you guys 잘했어요. It's 운대요, right? Not 울는데요. It's 운대요. How about, can you guys finish the rest of these two too? Can you guys combine 만들다 with 대요 and also 놀다 with 대요 in a correct form? 논대요. 맞아요. 논대요 and 만든대요. Exactly. Yes. 만든대요. 맞아요. Because you have to replace 리을 받침 with 니은 받침. 리을 받침 with 니은 받침. It's just the rule that these guys demand, because irregular verbs are quite annoying and demanding guys, so we have no choice, guys. We have to get used to them. So yes. So these verbs combined with 대요 follow this rule. And also I forgot to mention one more thing. Okay, so let's do the sentence first and then move on to 네요 endings, irregular verbs. So 그 배우가 서울에 산대요. 그 배우가 배우가 means an actor or actress. So that actor 서울에 in 서울 산대요. I hear he lives. 그 배우가 서울에 산대요. I hear he lives in Seoul. 그 배우가 서울에 산대요. How about 그 고양이가 밤마다 운대요. 그 고양이가 밤마다 운대요. That cat, night, 밤마다 is used when you mean like every noun. So 밤마다 means like every night. That cat, every night. 운대요. We learned that 운대요 is 울다 combined with 대요 ending, right? So it means I hear it cries. So I heard that cat cries every night. 그 다음에 so NWH99 asked, may I ask why some of them are changing with irregular verbs? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. 99. Sorry. How to change to 피읍 받침? I think you mean the other things, the other irregular verbs, right? The piub ending. Sorry, what was it? The piub ending adjectives like 귀엽다, or 쉽다. Actually, I briefly mentioned this earlier in this lesson, so you can play that part back. But 귀엽다, 쉽다, like for adjectives whose stem ends in pi읍 받침, they also have their own rule. So what's confusing about irregular rules is that they are not consistent. They sometimes follow the regular rule with certain suffix or with certain sentence ending, but with some other sentence endings and suffixes, they have their own rule. So that's what's confusing. But I don't really have like a very helpful tips that you guys can use to memorize them fast. The best advice right now I can give to you is to constantly review them and try to get used to them. Because it's a rule, but then it's a language, right? So as you kind of get used to it and familiarize yourself with it, it will just naturally come out of you. So that's like the best advice I have. But if you guys have other advice, please share it in the chat section as well. So irregular verbs are very, very 짜증나요, guys. Very 짜증나요. And 지순의 엄마가 커피를 잘 만든대요. So I'm getting answer from some of you guys. Thank you. So 지순의 엄마. So 지순의 엄마 means 지수's mom. And here you might be wondering, what is 네 here? What is 네? So 네 is actually used to mean someone's house. Someone's house. So if you say like 지수 네, it's another way to say 지수's house. 지수's house. So it's the same as 지수의 집. 지수의 집. But when you say 지수's family or 지수's family members, you can also use 내 for the possession marker. So if you say 지수네 엄마, it's the same as 지수의 엄마 because it's a possession particle. But it sounds more natural to say 지수네 here because you're talking about someone's family member. So you can say 지수네 엄마, 지수네 언니, 지수's sister when you're talking about someone else's family. So 지수네 엄마 means 지수's mother. So 네 is a very colloquial expression or particle that you can remember. So 지수's mom 커피를 coffee 잘 well 만든대요. I hear she makes, right? I hear 지수's mom makes good coffee. 그 다음에 지수가 last one. 지수가 시험 공부하려고 안 논대요. 지수가 시험 공부하려고 안 논대요. So I brought this sentence, guys, to kind of check. Let you guys check if you remember the 려고 suffix. 지수가 시험, exam, study, 공부하려고 in order to study for the exam, right? 지수가 시험 공부하려고 안 논대요. Mohammed, sorry, I'll get back to your question after class. So 안 논대요 means not play. I hear, right? So I hear 지수 doesn't play in order not to play. In order not to play. 네네. Sorry. In order. Sorry. I'm getting confused, guys. Whoa. It's nighttime here, so that's why my mentality is kind of, I don't know, it's not at its best state, guys. I need your support, guys. Please help me out in the comment section. You can type anything that encourages me. Cheer up Miss Vicky or anything. I need that help, guys, to continue. But let me drink more sips of tea. Sorry. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. No, I'm not drinking coffee. It's nighttime here. I'm drinking tea. Fighting. Thank you guys so much. You guys are wonderful. 감사합니다, 여러분. 감사합니다. Alisa, Robin, thank you. Okay. 감사해요, 여러분. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Okay. So let's give you a correct translation one more time. So 지수가 시험 공부하려고 지수 안 논대요, right? I hear 지수 doesn't play in order to study for her test, right? 지수가 시험 공부하려고 in order to study for the test 안 논대요. I hear she doesn't play. So that's the meaning of 대유, guys. But here it gets a little bit more, I guess. So I'm mentioning this, guys, so that I'm mentioning this now, not like the earlier in this lesson, so as not to confuse you guys from the very start. But 대요, we learned that it usually means I hear the statement sentence, right? But it can also sometimes be used to mean the subject said that. So this sentence, guys, 지수가 시험 공부하려고 안 논대요. This sentence can have two meanings. It's either I heard that Jisoo doesn't play in order to study, or the second meaning, it means the subject said, Jisoo said, in order to study, she doesn't play. Oh, so that's what 대유 ending, that's the meanings that 대유 ending has. But more often, this one is used more often, but sometimes it can use to mean this one too. So if you look at the next sentence, 아빠가 오늘 늦게 온대요. 아빠가 오늘 늦게 온대요. This sentence can have two meanings. Can you guys guess what? So 아빠가 오늘 늦게 온대요. 늦게 means late. It's an adverb that means late. And 온대요 is I hear he comes, right? So I hear that dad comes home late today, right? I hear that father will come late today. 아빠가 오늘 늦게 온대요. But the second meaning is that yes, senchu. Yes, dad said that he will come late today. So it has a two meaning, guys. So that's why I'm mentioning this kind of later now, so as not to confuse you guys, because this one I think is kind of 70%, and then this one is used 30%. So this one is more common, but this one is also used. You will hear this meaning used a lot too. And but as for sentences like this, 비키 선생님 teacher, 한국어가 Korean 어렵대요. So this one is obviously. So this one has two subjects, right? Two subject. So it's obviously Vicky 선생님, Vicky teacher, said that this sentence, right? Said that Korean is difficult. So, 네. Miss Vicky said Korean is hard. So this sentence only has one meaning. Subject said this one, and it's kind of figure outable. It's kind of obvious. So this might be. So I made it kind of harder than it. I made it sound like it's harder than it really is. But you will notice the difference by context. So don't worry about it, guys. It's not that complicated. Okay, 그다음에. So back to what Duffy said, guys. Back to what Duffy asked. So Duffy's question was, sorry, I prepared this part. Where is it? So as you guys probably have noticed, using the sentence endings like this are very useful when you don't want to elongate the sentence and make it simpler and shorter. So what Duffy asked was, to translate this sentence, guys, I can see it's raining, or I heard it rains tomorrow. To literally translate it, you can translate I can see literally 볼 수 있어요. Or I heard 들었어요. You can literally translate it and then, and then fill it in with the rest of the meaning. However, you don't have to do it if you're just putting the sentence ending 네요 here. You can just say 비가 오네요 instead of 비가 오는 걸 볼 수 있어요, which is the literal translation of this one. 비가 오네요. And I heard it rains tomorrow as well. 내일 비가 온다고 들었어요. So 다고 here, guys, it's a quotation suffix, guys. This quotation expression we'll learn in another lesson, guys. As you can see, guys, Korean grammar is really wide, right? There's so many things to cover. So that's kind of difficult for me too, as a person who tries to explain this. So I hope you guys understand where the confusion comes from. So to literally translate this, it becomes 내일 비가 온다고 들었어요. So this one is correct. Actually, this one is a correct way to translate this. But you can also say 내일 비가 온. You don't need all of this. And say 온대요. Right? So the sentence ending makes the sentence a lot simpler, right? So that's the charm of sentence endings, and that's why knowing a lot of sentence endings and knowing how to use it in a correct way, of course, would be really helpful in you guys' Korean sounding more like a native speaker. But of course, it's not easy to get there at first, right? As you can see, Korean grammar is very wide, just like any other grammar, any other language's grammar. So there are many things to note and kind of follow up on. So you'll get there, guys. You'll get there. I'm trying my best to offer you guys help. So yes, that's what I prepared, and I forgot to mention that 살다 The verbs whose stem ends in 리을 받침, guys. 만들다, just like we learned, guys, right? 울다. When they're combined with 네요, they also have their own role. So when they are combined with 네요, you have to delete 리을 받침. So 살다 combined with 네요 is 사네요. This one, guys. It's 사네요. So if you say like 지수가, so you guys can check the comment section, guys. I mean the chat, live chat, to see my sentence that I'm writing now. 지수가 행복하게 사네요. 지수가 행복하게 사네요. It means I can see that 지수 lives happily. That's what I feel. That's what I observe, right? And then you can say, 너 지금 커피 만드네. 만드네 comes from 만들다 combined with 네요, right? 만드네, which is in 반말, right? Without you ending. 너 지금 커피 만드네. It's like I can see that you're making coffee right now. And 울다 plus 네요 becomes 우네요 because 리을 받침 has to be deleted, right? So you can say 저 고양이는, that cat, 저 고양이는 매일 우네요. Every day it cries. I can see that. That's what I observe. I see that cat cries every day. So that's the irregular verb of 네요 ending, guys. And so that's all what I brought, guys. There are, of course, more grammar to it, guys. But we'll continue to learn more grammar. Don't worry about it. And before we wrap up, guys, I brought a dad joke. So our Discord members already know about this joke. It's not that funny. Spoiler alert. It's not that funny. But I saw it somewhere and I thought it would be hilarious to bring it since it's related to the sentence ending 대 sentence ending. So this is one of the Korean dad jokes that's not really funny, but I thought it would be educational. So I brought it. So that's the disclaimer, guys. So the question is, 해가 울면? It means, 해 means sun, guys, sun. And to break this sentence down, 울면 is the combination of the verb 울다 and 그러면, which means if, then, right? So 울면 means sun cries, then. So if the sun cries, then. So 해가 울면 is another way to say what's a sun when it cries. So the answer is 해운대. So to understand this joke, guys, you have to know what 해운대 is. So 해운대 is a really famous beach in South Korea, Busan, South Korea. It's a really famous beach in Busan. So let me write this so that you guys get the joke. So why is it 해운대? Why is it 해운대 when the sun cries? Because it's full of water. It has a lot of water. Maybe, but if that was the answer, we wouldn't call it a dad joke, right? But if you think of the grammar, 대유, if you think of the 대유 grammar, 대유 ending that we just learned, you'll be able to get it. Can you guys guess? If you guys get it, can you guys type it? So actually, you can space 해 and 온대. And then you'll be able to get it. Oh yeah, I think some of you guys are getting it. Some of you guys are laughing. 해운대 영화 꿀재미. 맞아요. 해운대 영화 진짜 재밌어요. 김정은님 한국 사람인 것 같은데 아까 보니까. Because of 운대. 맞아요. Because of 운대. I hear that the sun is crying. Right? 해운대. I hear the sun is crying. 맞아요. That's why, 네, 해운대. So I thought it was really creative, guys, because I never saw 해운대 in that way. I just saw this word as a beach, right? I never thought of it that way, so I thought it was creative and funny, but I know that we all have different humor codes, so I know that not a lot of you would find it funny, but still I thought it would be very educational to share it. And thank you, Mohammed, for the donation, and thank you everyone for joining, guys. That's everything that I brought for today. 네, so yes, thank you. So that's the end of our class, guys, and thank you so much. So you guys can feel free to leave now, and thank you so much for joining. 네, you guys can leave now. Steven, thank you for the birthday wish. Thank you. Samya, do Teo and Neo change form in past and future tense? Yes, Samya, that's a good question. So there are more grammar left in past and future. What we did today was only focus on present only. So next time, hopefully, I will make time to do past and future as well in one of my lessons, or maybe I'll post a file on my website. I'll try to think of ways where I could tell you guys about future and past combined with these sentence endings. So I will save it, guys. I will save it. Don't worry about it. And thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. I didn't know that you would know when my birthday is. I was quite surprised. 진짜 놀랐어요, 여러분. 저 너무 감사해요. 감사합니다. 네. No, so you guys can leave now. 네. This is actually how often do I do live classes? So I'm embarrassed to tell you that I don't have a regular schedule. I don't have a fixed schedule, which I need. But I try to do it at least once a week. Once every other week. So I hope that answered your question. And thank you guys so much. Bye. I'll turn it off now. Thank you for joining.